we dive right in. We start off with what happened last night in the Diamond League. Loads of good results, so to speak. I don't know what you guys made of it. Let's start maybe with one of the highlights. Yavi, 0.07 seconds shy of breaking Beatrice Chepkoech's world record.
I think if there's something interesting I've observed with a lot of the Olympians who medaled in France. There's a bounce in their steps, if I can put it that way. I know we'll talk about the rest as well, the other medalists. But for Winfred Yavi, I think she's decided to get out of her shell completely. As much as, yes, we used to see, she used to be, you could feel she was maybe trying to suppress it a bit. But after the Olympics, she decided, you know what? Even on social media, she's very active now. She's sharing much more than she used to share. And I think she said, okay, fine, I'm the queen of the steeplechase now. I'm the queen. And because I'm the queen, what is usually in your repertoire? One, you have won the world title. You've won the Olympic title. What is the next best thing to do? Is to have the record in your CV. So that's something now she's targeting. And I think she'll break it. It's been, 6 years since Peru Chemutai?
No, Beatrice.
Yeah.
Beatrice. Yeah.
But there's a time Chemutai, I think she did something.
No, Chemutai won gold in Tokyo.
No, there's a...
Yeah.
Unless I'm...
That's what you remember. Peru won gold in Tokyo, which was a surprise.
Yes.
No one thought she was going to. She just shot up, won the gold.
Yes.
And then she disappeared for pretty much 3 years.
Yes.
And then she showed up this year and she was within a meter of winning gold.
She would break it.
And then she really pushed last night. I actually think she was trying so hard to kill Yavi.
Yeah.
Because she knew Yavi is coming.
Yeah.
So she went out so hard. But in the ultimate, she just couldn't run the kick out of her.
Yeah.
So Yavi, on the other hand, I think, and maybe you're right in what you're saying, in that I feel like the Olympics have validated her. I feel like she feels validated.
Yes.
I feel like she feels like I am now, like you say, I'm the queen. First of all, this is her period. Every athlete has a few years where you are untouchable. And I think Yavi, from 23 to maybe 25 next year, I think she's just in a purple vein of form where no one can touch her. And the Olympics was like a confirmation. Like, by the way, I'm the queen. She's now only the third woman to run in under 850 in the steeplechase. I just watched her last night and I wondered whether she thought about the record or she was thinking about just winning the race.
I think she was thinking about winning it, first of all, because you correctly mentioned about the pace that Peru was setting up front. And I thought that it was going to be, are we going to reverse what happened in the Olympics? And Yavi was there, was saying, no, that's not going to happen. And you see the acceleration that she had in the last 100 meters. It was evident that she saw the clock and she realized that actually this time is possible. And she went for it. And so I do agree with what Bernard is talking about. Like, she's now going for the world record, but I don't think it was bound to happen yesterday. I don't think she's planned it. But now, because she's missed it by a whisker, she's definitely going to go for it in the next few coming events, maybe even in Brussels.
I feel if you come that close to the record, you have to get it. That's my feeling always. If you come to within 0.07, if you come to within, Asbel came to within 0.69 or 0 point something when he chasing the 1500 meter record. Even Wanyonyi in Lausanne, when he did 1:41.11, I was like, maybe that was it. I feel like you have to go back and start again. So I feel like she came so close, because I'm not sure in Brussels, Peru won't go out hard like that, because Peru was trying to win the race.
Yes.
So she was trying to run the kick out of her.
And the byproduct of that is now she pushed her.
Exactly. So come Brussels, if you are Peru, are you going to go hard out? No. I don't know whether Peru is qualified for the finals or whatever. But I wouldn't go hard. I'll slow down. So unless now the meet organizers now give her good pacemakers. So then maybe it changes. But I'm happy for Yavi. I feel like Yavi is an example of how Kenyan athletes would progress if we didn't have too many of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because Yavi was always there or thereabouts, even as a junior. There or thereabouts. Not in the top 2, maybe top 4, maybe top 5. There or thereabouts. But because she comes from a country where there's zero competition, she can develop slowly over the years. And then now she's finally arrived at the top, at the mountaintop. And I think she's the woman to beat last year, this year, and next year. I think if there's any debate about her, the debate starts in 27, not 25. 25, I still think she will be in a class of her own.
Yeah.
Then after that, things will become complicated.
Yeah, because I mean the only competitor right now you're talking about is Peruth, and the distance between the top two. Okay, now you can maybe put Beatrice Chepkoech in the picture, but after that you have a very very huge distance.
I think Beatrice and the steeplechase are almost done.
Uh-huh.
I think she's had her best days in the steeplechase.
Okay.
Yeah, she's hit an idea.
Yep.
I think she's done her best in this. I think Beatrice should be moving towards the road. If I was Beatrice, I'd be slowly moving towards the road because Yavi is 24, thereabouts.
24.
She's a baby.
Yeah.
Then you've got Peruth, who has undergone a revival this year. I'm not sure how she's going to show up. So I feel like it's Yavi's time, and the only person who then stops Yavi is she's 3 years away from doing it. Faith
That's
Mdogo will
Faith
show up,
charity,
yeah,
yeah.
but she's still a baby. You can see the
Still hasn't gotten that.
yeah, you can
that-
see she's
that
still a
grit.
child compared to the
Yeah.
two proper women who are running.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move it on from
The steeplechase.
Yavi and move it on. Faith, the queen, Faith Kipyegon, she ran 352. It's a mark of how good she is that we all didn't like 352. We all like, we all thought our world record would come.
I think it was premature. You can only imagine. This is a first race after Paris, and for her, I think it was just to find kusikia vile mwili iko after Paris, and as you said, kuna ile, in the Diamond League has its perks as well.
Yeah.
So I think for her it was just, as you said, wacha niangalie vile mwili iko.
To be honest, it's Nanyondo who messed her up.
Yeah, man.
It's
Yes.
To be honest, it's the pacemaking. Why they got someone who doesn't pacemake
Yeah.
often to pacemake a world record attempt, because they said it was a meet record attempt, but the meet record is 13:49:11. 3:49:11.
Yeah.
The world record is 3:49:04.
Yeah.
So there is no difference.
just
So
a
when they say we are
0.05.
so when they say we are setting meet record, and then I thought, okay, so but why is Nanyondo pacing? She's not good enough. So her first 400 was too fast. Her second one was too slow, and it was all
All over the
messy.
place.
So
Yeah.
it became a race. Now, look, I hear what you're saying, but remember, Faith went to Paris and broke the world record earlier this year like a joke. Like she broke it. And I feel she's almost had an average season by her standards. And I know it sounds ridiculous to say it, but going by her standards, it feels like she hasn't had a season where things are going the way she would want them to go.
What? Okay.
She hasn't.
And this is the second Diamond League she had yesterday.
Yes, that's one of the reasons.
But how are you going to look at her setting a world record and her winning a three-peat in the Olympics and pretty much say that that's not
Because we saw her last year. I knew this was coming. I was waiting. Because we saw her last year. Last year, Faith was untouchable.
Yeah.
The only time she got touched was on the road at the end of a very long season.
Yes.
This year, we all of us, hands up anyone who thought Faith was going to win 2 gold medals at the Olympics. I'm sure all our hands are up. Because we all thought she was going to do it.
Yes.
So then she starts the year, she has an injury. So she doesn't get her season going. She misses Prefontaine Classic. We are not too sure about her. Then she shows up at the trials and she looks very good. Then she breaks the world record while looking like a joke with her tongue out, which is my moment of the year because Faith doesn't do. I was like, oh, that's nice. That's a woman. She's ready.
Yeah.
But then she goes to the Olympics and she misses her gold. And then she gets her gold in her main thing. She makes history around it. And then you look at, so statistically, it's
Okay.
a great season. But if I compare it to last season, last season was the absolute mountain top.
But
She set 2 world records.
Yes.
She got 2 gold medals. She set 3 world records. So my
in the
apologies.
in the 5,000, yeah.
She 5 and the mile
And
and,
the 2.
1,500 meters.
Yeah.
And then she got two
World Championship.
world championship titles.
Yeah.
She was unbelievable. So given the standards she set for us last year,
Yes.
this year has been a bit of a things are not, let me say this, things are not as smooth as they were last year.
Okay.
So it could be I think the injury at the start of the
Yes.
year wasn't great for her.
Yes.
And things have, even in Paris, the 5,000 meters, it's not through no fault. It's just things have happened that normally don't happen around her.
Okay.
It's Faith, people pushing her and her getting disqualified. I just feel like it's not been the kind of year I thought she would have. I'm not saying it's a bad year.
Okay.
You know, Sammy goes negative in 1 second. So now he's already gone. I'm not saying she's had a bad year. I'm just saying, given what I saw last year and what I thought I would see this year, she just hasn't been her usual smooth self. Even last night, it's just not.
But for me, I think Wakabi, I'm just trying to look at it this way. In terms of hat-trick and double world champion, how do you rank the two? Which has much more weight?
The Olympic triple has been done over 8 years. The World Championships was done in 1 week. Okay? Last year was absolutely magnificent. This year, if you break it down, like you divide it into two, 1500 meters, of course she's the queen. You know she's unbeaten in 1500 meters for 3 years. Like the last person beaten, I think, was Stefan.
In the World Championship?
No, in some Diamond League meet. But she has a 3-year unbeaten streak in 1500 meters. No one touches her. Like, Faith and 1500 is forget to go where you are going. It's just that we all thought she is getting the double gold. And then she started her season not the best because of an injury. So her season, he's saying she's only had 2 Diamond League meets.
Yeah.
That by Faith standards is not her normal standards. I'd like you to go back and see the last time she ran 2 Diamond League meets in a year or 3. That's all I am saying. I'm not saying she's had a bad year.
Yeah.
Again, before you throw stones, I'm just saying compared to last year, she's had a year when things just haven't gotten going. It's through no fault of her own. It's just life. She gets injured, so she starts her season way late. It's not her fault.
Yeah.
Goodaf decides to be, I can't use that word on air, but Goodaf decides to be something. It's none of her fault. Because I think that push at the Olympics is what denies her gold.
Destabilized her.
Yes.
Okay.
Because she lost, because you lose your cadence and you lose your rhythm. And there was no time to recover.
And remember, there's also Beatrice as well there. Who's a terrier.
It happened with 500 meters to go.
Yeah.
There is not enough time for you to regain your composure and balance.
Okay.
And that's it. And Beatrice was out of it. Every time I watch that video, you can see Beatrice sort of almost commentating or reacting to what she's seeing in front of her. Just watch. Her eyes widen and then she's almost speaking. It's almost like she's saying, watch out. And I think that messed her up. So you can't blame her. Last night, again, if Nanyondok does the pacemaking well, I think we get a world record. That's why I'm saying.
Okay.
Not the most smooth. It hasn't been smooth. That's all I'm saying. It's been a bit stop-start for her this year. But credit to her. Those are the standards she set.
Yeah.
That we are like. That's all I was saying. I'm saying it's been.
Yeah, I understand you've gone and you've explained your point well. Because
I have to, because some of you.
No, I thought you're being too harsh. But then looking back, I think you are right about the mitigating factors that were there.
Exactly what he's saying. Because you see, even that also just re-emphasizes how great she is. Because you've had a very topsy-turvy kind of season, and you still within that same year been able to still do what you're able to be able to do. So I think, I understand. I get.
I have said this the whole of this year. Faith is the greatest female athlete this country has ever seen. Actually, Faith is the greatest athlete this country has ever seen. I've said that the whole of this year, and at times I get stones because of it. So I wouldn't in any way say, no, she's the most successful Olympian we've ever had. If I'm not mistaken, she has how many gold medals? 3?
She's got 3.
She's got 3, and she's got a silver.
And a silver in
so she's... No other Kenyan has 3 gold medals. Just start from there. So there's no doubt of her greatness. I was just saying her season has been topsy-turvy. It hasn't been the best. It's been stop-start.
Yeah.
It's not as smooth as we are used to her running. And last night's race was perfect example of how. It just hasn't looked the way she looks, because normally Faith just looks smooth. Even last night, it's just not going. It's one of those years when I think nature just decides, this year we are going to put obstacles in your way. That's all I was.